Welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. We get together because we enjoy each other's company. We love experimenting and sharing what we know. We love trying out new things, and we sometimes do a little business together as well. So welcome here. This morning we're going to talk about disposable email addresses. But as usual, record on this.
Recording in progress.
Darn. I was hoping that beginning would have been recorded. By the way, I'm recording right now. I'll tell you in a few minutes why, but let's first do some introductions. So, Vivek, you were here first, so how would you like to introduce yourself?
Namaste. My name is Vivekanand. Literally, it means wisdom and happiness. I am proud to share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. I aim to bring time-tested wisdom and happiness together into your business and life by unifying, simplifying, and amplifying simple technology and tools. Wake Technology Private Limited is my company. Together, let us wake up our potential. At the moment, I am in Reading, UK, England. The weather has been really good since morning. It's been, it says 25 degrees centigrade. So it's been quite sunny and warm. So and we are on probably the third and the final summer, whatever you want to call it, before it all goes cold again. So yeah.
I can't believe it. It's September already.
Yeah.
I mean, the summer just flew by.
Yeah.
Right on. So glad you're here, Vivek. Fred, I think you were next.
Thank you, LowellAnn. I'm Fred Jones, the creator of Our Future Leaders, and I'm also the ambassador for Agora Speakers International youth programs around the world. So what we do is we assist young people to gain communication and leadership skills so that they can become the leaders that our world needs. I'm currently in Victoria. It's 16 degrees centigrade, apparently, according to the computer. And I've moved again, as I tend to do, looking after a dog and a cat and myself in this house, which has 7 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. It's quite different to where I normally hang out. So it's interesting. I find it fascinating to see how the other people live sometimes.
And Fred and I had a conversation. He lives out very close to where I used to live. I rented a lower suite. It's called 10 Mile Point. So it's not really downtown Victoria though. It's quite far out. Yeah.
It's in Saanich, actually, which that doesn't mean much to anybody, but except those in Victoria.
Right.
And apparently, right here is the most eastern point of Vancouver Island. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Just up the road here.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I mean, So it's the most eastern part of the island.
Yeah, it's a lovely spot though. I did enjoy living there. We were before we came on, we were talking about the deer, and I was telling Fred that I have pictures of 3 deer in the backyard and how difficult it was to do any kind of gardening out there because of the deer.
Actually,
Unlike what you were describing, Vivek, uh, the deer roam freely all over Victoria,
Hmm.
and there
Uh,
are hundreds of them.
in fact, actually, when I go for the afternoon shift at my job, and when I come back, I have to be careful when I drive, because a couple of times I've seen a deer run across the road, and if I'm not careful, I would probably hit them, and that would be a disaster for both my car, the deer, of course,
Yeah.
and probably for me, because the that part of the road is supposed to be high speed. 50 miles per hour is the speed limit, so people go at that speed or even more.
Mm.
So
Well, I don't know. No, you're saying they sometimes run across. I've noticed here in Victoria, the deer are so smart, they'll stand on the side of the road and wait for the traffic to go by. It's amazing.
domesticated deer,
Yeah.
eh?
Anyway. So, David, how are you doing? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dave Flannery. I'm with Affordable Website for Small Businesses in Rock Falls, Illinois. Here today, it's a windy, warm day, and we are broadcasting through YouTube and the website quite fine. And Javita says hello, everybody. Good day.
Oh, greetings to you, Javita. Welcome here. Right on. So, you were busy with grandkids this morning.
Yeah, we have one 3-year-old that's sick this morning, and so she
Oh,
couldn't go to preschool. And so they needed an emergency babysitter till 10:30
and
when the regular babysitters,
that's what Grandpa is.
yeah, amongst other things, lawnmower fixer,
Chief cook and bottle washer.
my king crown has been taken away and it's gone to one of the other kids. I don't know where it's at right now, but everything else is still my job.
Right on. Well, thanks for being here, Dave. And Alana, how are things with you this morning?
Well, it is 72 degrees here in balmy Ireland, and my company's ALB Digital Marketing Solutions, where I write content and copy to increase sales and conversions for businesses. So yeah, it's been a well, that's a scorcher for us. So
Wow. Right on.
yeah,
Glad you made it, Alana. Welcome here.
thank you.
So I should tell you all that the purpose for this morning, and this may be a bit shorter than usual, because the topic I wanted to discuss, I mean, we can, it probably isn't going to take an hour to discuss it, but I should tell you that two things are happening here. So we will have a discussion about disposable emails. But what's also happening is an experiment. So if you remember last week, we explored all of the Zoom apps. And we noticed that Otter.ai, I think it is, was one of them. So I decided that yesterday that it would be really interesting to see if I could make that happen. So I did an experiment yesterday just with myself, doing myself, and recording. And I noticed that and I thought nothing was happening. But then when the Zoom closed and everything was done, I got an email that said your transcription is ready for opening. So I went to the site and there it was. So I thought, well, that's and that was just a little short experiment just to test the system. So I thought, well, um, I think it was Javita who recommended Otter, and we thought that, and we have talked in the past about transcribing and the usefulness of that for our websites, etc. So that's what I'm experimenting with this morning. I did set the recording, so we'll see what happens. So this, in terms of the discussion, I felt like it would be important for us to have. I need to give you a little bit of a background. I suppose it's roughly a month ago that I watched a Simpletivity video by Scott Friesen. He is an online YouTuber from Vancouver, actually, and he does some quite good videos, instructional videos. And the piece that I happened to watch had to do with free tools. He gave 7 free tools that he thought would be useful for people. And out of those 7, there was one that just, I have to admit that I was a bit alarmed, because the tool, and Vivek, I did post it in the chat if you would care to open that, and maybe we could share that screen. So it's called 10minutemail.com. And what it is it gives you a fake email address that lasts for 10 minutes. And as you can see on the screen, it says maybe you want to sign up for a site which requires that you provide an email address and to send a validation email. And maybe you don't want to give your real email address and end up on a bunch of spam lists, etc. So this was being presented as something that would be really useful. And my reaction to that was, oh my word, how is that going to impact those of us that are doing things online? So as I was thinking about, for example, the courses that I have on my site and the courses that Vivek and I have on the website for courses site, all depend on a person providing a proper email. So if people think that they're going to get some, they're just going to use a fake email, how is that going to impact all of us? And it just threw me for a loop. And so I thought, well, it might be worthy of some discussion. So I guess my question to you folks would be, would you use that fake email for 10 minutes?
I'll tell you what, it's something worth considering, because I've got 3 emails now that are being spammed heavily because I signed up for different things, and some of them are, one of them is the Affordable website email, and the other one is David at Team Flannery at Comcast, and those I've not signed up with. I've signed up with legitimate people, and they still ended up on spam. So I think I might consider it. Just for signing up for different, like a book or something like that, and you go to a site that's looks good, but you've not done any business with them or anything, and You sign up with them, and I wouldn't mind doing it.
Mm.
As far as using it to go on to a course, well, that's going to do you no good. If I
That's right.
sign up and I sign up and my email's gone in 10 minutes, and you go and send me the update, I can't go to the next step without getting an email.
Mm-hmm.
You got my money. Right then, if I paid you money for it, you got my money, and you got no way to contact me to give me my money back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, well, yes, that happened to me this week or last week.
yeah.
Somebody signed up for my course, and her email refused, and so I had to go and refund her money. She couldn't
Yeah,
figure out how to fix it.
that's a different situation. That's not me signing up with a website or email that's going to disappear in 10 minutes. That's a situation where,
Yeah, it's a different one, but it's
yeah, and you're sending out Gmails to them, correct?
Mhm.
So I don't know why they would think that would be spam, or why their server would refuse that,
I
because that's
think
coming directly
I
from
think
Google.
some web email service providers have um, an incorrect way of blocking all spam. That is, if an email address is unknown to you, then block it. So okay, I mean, send it to spam, it's a different thing, but if you block it completely, don't even look at the email at all, then what use is your email for? I mean, why are you using an email?
Mm-hmm.
um,
Well,
Especially if you're trying to run a business and you are, I mean, the course that LowellAnn is talking about is meant for a business owner, and you can't run a business where people can't reach you. What kind of business is that?
well, and the interesting thing about that one was she didn't know. Apparently, that particular site did have a spam box. She didn't find anything in the spam box, and yet I got the message that the system refused the email or rejected it. Yeah. So, but getting back to our topic, that's getting away a little bit from what we were talking about. But I mean, David, you're saying, yeah, okay, so I would use that because I just want that book. Well, why is that person putting that book up there as a promotional, so that they can maybe promote their business or whatever, and by using that you're preventing them from for being able to do that.
Yes,
So it does. I mean, by using this, it is going to have an impact on a business trying to use the traditional ways of promoting their business.
yeah, through email, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But the problem I have is then if somehow we got to stop the spam,
Mm-hmm.
and if enough people don't get emails, and they'll quit spamming that way. If you understand what I mean, they send it off, and they're getting paid to give out emails, and I'm getting everything from emails threatening me, that they've got bad pictures of me doing stuff that's wrong on there, and they want $1,000 or $2,000 worth of Bitcoin, and
I think that's called ransomware.
well, it's not ransomware. They're just saying that they're going to publish. They've been on my computer. They've got my email list and have all of my friends and all of my contacts and my business contacts, and they're going to send all these pictures to everybody, and they want $2,000. Well, first thing is I never do anything in front of a camera that I don't want the public to see.
Right.
The second thing is, they, I don't have that kind of money to give them, so send out the pictures. And so far, no one has received any pictures whenever they sent me that email. But it comes, I block it and I block it and I block it and I block it, and it comes for about 2 weeks, and they ratchet the pressure up. I also get the IRS ones that say, the IRS is coming, and Social Security ones that, the other one I've been getting is that they keep telling me that I have purchased something for $500, and that if I don't want this, call this number. Okay, and they've taken it from my account. Well, I go look at all my accounts and nothing's been taken.
Right.
So someone's getting some. I don't know where they're getting the money from, but I'm not losing it. So, but it's all ridiculous stuff, and it's all the stuff that I'm a Nigerian prince and I need to leave the country, and please, when I get to the United States, give me $10,000. When I get to the United States, I'll give you $1 million. Right.
I don't get much of that anymore. I get more. Here's a great course that you might want to take. Like most of the spam I get is kind of related to business, but the stuff that you're talking about, I find that my Google account seems to clean all that stuff out. It just goes to the spam box.
It's I put all that stuff as junk and spam and everything, and
you're still getting it.
Wow. It still keeps coming through. They change addresses and everything, and it's just I lose it for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I think, oh man, I got it all taken care of. And I maybe one in 2 or 3 days, and then all of a sudden it says boom, 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 and I'll get 20 emails filling up my inbox.
Wow.
And it's like,
so
I don't know what to do. I can't.
It's a case of few bad business people spoiling it for everyone else.
Yep.
So what about others? What Vivek, would you use one of those fake email addresses?
I'm not sure. Maybe if I'm unsure about a website and they want an email address, but I'm not sure even there it's all that useful. But I do understand David's point that even I do get quite a lot of spam, but most of it is taken care by Gmail spam filters. So, and anytime I see an email in my inbox which the spam folder didn't spam filter didn't catch, I'll report it to Google saying that this is spam, or this is the phishing. What's that? How is it pronounced? I don't know.
Phishing.
Yeah, with a P.
Yes.
Phishing email, and because I do get some of them saying, yes, I did see one which said I bought something for $600, and I said, what? Reported it to Google saying this is a phishing email. So
right. So you're saying you probably, if you were really uncertain about a site, you might
maybe
use it.
I might think of such a Otherwise, I don't see the point.
What about you, Fred? Would you use it?
Probably not. mainly because when I sign up, I know I'm going to get a lot of emails in most cases. We're talking about people trying to sell things, or
Mm-hmm.
because that's what they're doing. They give you a free something, and you sign up, give them your email address, and then they start sending them to you. I actually let them send it to me because I want to know how people think they're going to make money. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. There was a fellow by the name of Ted McGrath who was selling his courses, and he must have sent for months to me at least 4 to 6 emails every day.
Oh.
It was unbelievable about all of these courses that he had. I let him do that for a long time until I said, okay, unsubscribe. I imagine he's making a lot of money, I guess, but it was overwhelming to see that man. Now I get a lot of email, and I just like watching what people do and send and how they try and market.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's more of a research. Now, how do I handle them? Well, I just go to Google and I can choose all of them. And I just say, okay, either delete them or say I've read them so they don't appear in my inbox anymore, or they're in my inbox, but I don't look at them. And until they become overly aggressive like Ted McGrath, I let them do it. So I'm not a person to say I don't want that. I enjoy seeing what these people are up to in their quote unquote marketing exercises.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a research for me to see what people are up to, why they're doing it, and
Mm-hmm.
how they think. And I assume some of them make good money out of it, or they tell you how much money they're making because you can make money too from all the courses that I'm trying to sell you. Make money. Unbelievable, actually. So I've never had the intention, but I can understand some people wanting to use them for because they just don't like spam. They don't want to get those.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a great way of doing it, I would imagine. So you can get the information you want without going on somebody's email list. So it has its
So,
place.
so I remember, this would be quite some time ago, and Alana and Fred might remember this as well. Do you remember somewhere along the way in one of Jay's webinars where he talked about a fair exchange? I'll give you this in exchange for your email address, and that being a fair exchange. And so, I mean that is a traditional way of promoting things. So yeah.
I
So it
mean, as long as everybody's honest, that works. I wish there was some way I could go back and find out who's giving out the emails
right.
and then go to them and say, my fair exchange was getting your book and you got my email. Now you sent it to somebody else. So now I'm going to start spamming you and start giving your email
Well,
out.
you're saying the guy sold the list to somebody else.
He's got his list and he sold it. I mean, and some of these corporations are doing it. I mean, they just automatically turn around and sell it, and they sell it to the highest bidder or whoever. And some of these, sometimes I get stuff that is just like what you're saying is just people trying to sell other goods, okay? Which in most cases I don't mind. I just get rid of them, and that doesn't bother me. But it's like this one here. I got your confirmation is needed from you. You definitely know this would be a surprising letter. And it goes on to say that I've inherited $5 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And their fair exchange is my full name. They want my residence. They want my telephone number. They want my occupation and a valid copy of an international driver's license, which then gives them permission to do all sorts of fun things with all sorts of accounts. Okay, so no, I'm not giving them that. The problem is there's people. If I don't know, my mother's smart enough; she wouldn't fall for this. But there are people that are answering this by the thousands, and they're being taken advantage of because they think they're going to get $5 million. And
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on people being totally gullible.
Well, they're totally
Yeah,
gullible.
yeah. So, Alana, how do you react to all of this? I know that you do an online business just as the rest of us do. How do you feel about this?
Uh, well, couple things. One is I have a couple of established email accounts that I use for different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them is a junk mail account that when I switched over to Gmail, I left the other account as a junk mail account. So anytime I want to sign up for something where I think I might get spammed, I'll use that one.
Mm-hmm.
Another one I use that's kind of a business account that I have certain subscriptions go to. But what I've done in the past is if I sign up for something and I'm expecting, like you were discussing, Jay's, something for something, you give something, you get something. So if I sign up for a newsletter or a freebie on a website and I start getting berated with all these mails, which has happened before, I'll just start putting them in my spam folder and eventually they stop coming because Google acknowledges that that's spam and I'm not going to look at it, so don't bother.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I deal with it. I just let Google do the work for me.
And thank you, Alana, because that's about the way I handle it as well. I have one account that I use for signing up for certain things. I have another account that is extremely important, and I reserve that for certain things, etc. Yeah, but
now my junk mail account is kind of funny because every now and then I might check it. I don't know, every couple of weeks, maybe every month or so, just to see if anything important slipped through from a million years ago. And I'll see those things that Dave was talking about, the mail from Nigeria, I'm inherited $5 million and they need all this information. And the packages one is the one I like the most because I get those a lot to that specific mail account. And if I'm ever ordering something, I will never use that email address for a package. I'll use my most important email address for that. So I would never use my junk mail account for a package. So I automatically know that's crap. No pun intended.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, it like I say, the idea of using something for 10 minutes, it threw me because I mean, I was thinking to myself, look at the hassle it would happen if somebody used that for well, as David said, well, if they paid for it, then they're not going to get what they paid for. So probably most people would not use a 10-minute mail for that. But I have 2 or 3 courses that are free courses, and I mean the intent behind those courses is to be of service to solopreneurs. And I don't send out a whole lot of stuff to people just because they signed up for a free course. I just don't do that. You know, on the website, if they want to receive something in the future, they have to sign up for something so that they get auto responder type messages. But I just don't do that. So, but I guess I'm not not the usual type.
Well, I have to
I'm also
wonder.
not making any money. So,
Well, when it comes to the 10-minute mail account, I have to wonder if people aren't, if it's not a conscious thought for people before they sign up for something, that they think about it ahead of time and say, okay, I definitely don't want to receive any additional information from this website, so I'm going to sign up for a 10-minute mail account, get whatever it is they're going to send me for 10 minutes, and then I never have to hear from them again. That takes a lot of foresight. And I can't help but wonder if that's what people are using it for, because like you said, if you want something to come back into your mail account and you only have 10 minutes and it's a username and password or something and you miss that window, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
It seems, I don't know that people would use that spontaneously. It seems to me it's for a specific reason.
Good point. Yeah. Well, anyway, it sort of it raised the question for me as to where is everything going in terms of online business and online marketing. Um, anyway, um, I'm wondering, I'm looking at my clock, we're at 30 minutes. I think we've probably killed this topic by this point. I don't know, Fred, if you feel like having a last word.
I've got
Well,
my
I think
stick
it's
ready to beat
important.
that horse.
Yeah, I think it's important for everyone to know that this service exists because there may be incidents where say, hey, I'll give it a try because I'm really not interested in any more junk mail. I would call it more than spam because spam, I think, can be handled quite well.
Mhm.
When I look at my spam file, I get the, $15 million is sitting here. Just please submit all this information about, what Dave was talking about. And Google does a pretty good job of that. Because when I look in there, I say, oh, wow, look, I could be a billionaire, not just a millionaire, if I could take all those, you know, I understand there's a few boxes full of $4 million each in Atlanta, Georgia, waiting to be forwarded to me too. But whatever it is, those are handled. But I like the fact that you brought to our mind that this service does exist, and there might be times when it makes sense for us to say, gee, this is a time when I could use that option. So I think it's valuable to know. So once again, it's a valuable service. I enjoy listening to the different topics, and this was another interesting one.
Thank you, Fred. David, I thought I heard you about to say something.
Yeah, I said, you mean I've got my stick ready. I want to beat this horse a little bit more. Maybe I'll get it to stand up.
All right. So I think I will end the broadcast shortly with my usual closing comment. It's important to do what you love with passion. And to let you know that next week we're going to talk about LinkedIn, the benefits and features of LinkedIn Premium. So, having said that, I will hit the outro, which is